Hello, good evening, and welcome to Legal Business Talk Show with Ifoma Ben. My name is Ifoma Ben. I'm a legal business consultant and the founder of Legal Business Network, and also the managing partner of Eminence Solicitors, a law firm that helps startups build legally protected businesses. So tonight, you are welcome to the 19th episode of the Legal Business Talk Show, and I'm glad to welcome you to the first edition of the talk show for the year 2020. So we are all welcome. I'm glad to have you here. I will take a few minutes. Let me just see who is online and see who to invite. Maybe just take a few minutes to invite a few friends to join the broadcast. Let me invite a few friends to join the broadcast, and we'll quickly continue with the broadcast. So tonight we are going to discuss a very important issue, a very important topic that affects business people, that affects startups, entrepreneurs, and those involved in all kinds of businesses. It's a very crucial point because it's not something you can do without. And what's the topic? The topic is why your business needs a legal advisor. A lot of people neglect that aspect because some people do not consider it as a core business need. A lot of people do not know the essence of having a legal advisor for a business, and they only get in touch with a lawyer when they are into a problem, when they run into problems, when they have issues. That's when they start thinking of getting a lawyer to look into the legal issues around their business. But I'll shock you, you don't even need a lawyer. You don't need to wait to get a lawyer when there's already a dispute, when a matter is already in court, when there's an issue. It will interest you to know that you need a lawyer most when that issue has not arisen, in order to prevent the issue from arising. There's this adage that says a stitch in time saves nine. Yes, that's a proverb or whatever that's of a long standing. A stitch in time saves nine. Just an illustration. Let's take this simple illustration. A lot of us in the primary schools, in the nursery schools in those days, you might get your school uniform might just tear a little, and you do not take it to a tailor that time to sew it. When you wear it to school the following day, you might be surprised by the time you are coming back, the whole uniform would have even torn up to maybe your buttocks. So that's just a simple illustration of why you need to do things on time before it gets worse. Because when it gets worse, it costs you a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort to look for solutions. So those solutions, the time and energy and expense that it will cost the company will be quite enormous, and you might still not get it back to the original position. So that's the essence of that's the reason why we are having this broadcast. We're having this the episode talking about the importance, the need for legal advisor for business, especially at the earliest opportunity, at the earliest time of setting up the business. So in what areas do you need the services of a legal practitioner? In what areas do you need a lawyer to help you build your business into a legally protected business? So we'll be looking at a number of issues. We'll be looking at a number of areas where a lawyer can be of help to your business. So a lawyer is not just known for court matters or when an issue has arisen and there is a threat to go to court. Rather, a lawyer ought to stay there at the beginning, at the time you're setting up the business, to make sure that everything is in order, to make sure that you do not run into problems, and if eventually any problem arises, it may not be as enormous as it would have been if there was no legal bodyguard for your business. So now, why do you need a legal advisor for business? Why do you need a legal advisor for business? One, the first point I have here is a better business setup. A better business setup. You need to get it right from the beginning. You need to have a proper foundation. Like I always say, you need to have a proper foundation. You need to get it right from the beginning. So, who said that you can only hire legal advisors, you can only hire lawyers only after your business has met with a lawsuit? No. So your business, you need to develop a proper legal structure. And in developing the proper legal structure, it is a lawyer who will help you develop that proper legal structure for your business. Most times when I have interactions with startups and entrepreneurs, when they want to tell me they want to register their business, first of all, even if they say they want to register a business name or they want to register a company, I will first of all ignore it. My main concern would be to ask them the nature of their business. So the nature of the business might have some peculiarities, might have some special requirements. It's not just deciding that you want to register a business name. There are certain things that a business name cannot do. So if, for instance, even there are certain companies there are certain businesses that you cannot run with a company registered with 1 million share capital. You may not be able to engage in certain transactions for a company with 1 million share capital because some industries have special requirements for minimum share capital. They have minimum share capital requirements. So in developing a legal structure, you need a lawyer for that. You need to have a better business setup and get it right from the beginning. So your business structure will also determine your liabilities, the liabilities of the company, maybe how the company is taxed, how the profits are divided, and certain things that have to be put into consideration in setting up this legal structure. So in starting a business, you need to consult with a lawyer who would find out the peculiarities of your business, find out what you want to do with this company that you are setting up, and now advise you on the proper thing to do, on the right way to go about it, because you need to get it right from the beginning. If you do not get it right from the beginning and there's issue, you want to expand later, then you might have a problem. So that's why you need to really get it right at that beginning, at the time you want to set up that business. So there are different kinds of legal structures, there are different kinds of corporate structures for business. You have a business name, you have a company limited by shares, you have company limited by guarantee, you also have unlimited companies, and you also have private and public limited liability companies. And all these companies have their suitabilities for different kinds of business. So a lawyer will need to explain to you what these structures are and how they affect your business, and will be able to now decide the proper structure for your business, the one that will suit the kind of business you want to do. So in getting it right from the start, you need to consult a lawyer. Now, having set up your business, there are other issues that might arise, other legal needs that the company would also require. So a lawyer also comes in employment related issues. Even if you have you use a HR, a consultant, a human resources consultant to employ people, there are issues that legal issues that would also be put into consideration. There has to be employment contract. There has to be an agreement between the employer and the employee, setting out clearly the terms of the employment. So not tomorrow you say, oh, I didn't know that the company does not allow this or the company does not allow that. So parties need to agree in writing. You need to set out in writing what the company requires of the employee, and the employee also has to know from day one what he or she is required to do in the company and the do's and don'ts of the company. And also there are certain key provisions of the employment contract that a company must always bear in mind, and getting a lawyer to draft that contract will help the company to avoid certain mistakes in that respect. There has to be confidentiality clause. There have to be confidentiality clause or non-disclosure agreement also between the employer and the employee, setting out certain things that must be kept in confidence in respect of the trade secret of the company, or some other things, documents that have to do with the company must not go outside. Information relating to the company must not go to third party except in exceptional circumstances. So all these things are to be captured in the employment contract, which would be drafted by a lawyer to make sure that the company legal needs are properly taken care of. So with legal advisors, you can mitigate the risk, certain risk in employment matters. So you have to consult your lawyer in this respect. So what else do you need a lawyer for in your business? Now, having set up the company and having also drafted your employment contract, it has been signed by the parties, there are other issues too. There are other areas that you must consider. You must consult a lawyer in order to make sure that your business is properly protected, and in order to make sure that you take the right decisions. So there are people who have legal consultants on retainer. Before they take any business decision, they consult their lawyer, get their views, look at the legal consequences of whatever action they want to take. So it helps you to make wiser decisions, wiser business decisions. Business owners, most of the time, you don't know what the law provides about certain areas of business, and in taking decisions in those respects, it's always good to consult your lawyer to make sure that those sections of the law that pertains to your business are properly studied. And after studying then the lawyer will now advise you properly on what to do and the proper decision to take at every point in time. So by having legal experts on guard, it will help you make informed business decisions and help you to also operate within the confines of the law in the areas of your business. So we see that businesses make the wrong moves, and this is not healthy for the business. So making legally sound business decisions helps you to stay legally compliant in your business. Now we look at other areas that a lawyer is quite indispensable in every business. We'll talk about legal documentations, perusal of contracts, drafting of contracts, and some other legal documents. In every business, you cannot do away with contracts. Contracts play a very important role in every business. It's just that a lot of people get it wrong by having oral contracts, oral discussions, and gentleman's agreements. There's always need to have written documents, written contracts, so that if there is an issue in the future, you will refer to that contract and look at the express provisions of the contract, which will now help to determine the course of action that either of the parties would take. So contracts play a very important role, and you need contracts. You need them to handle your sales, your employees, leases. Maybe you want to rent property and everything. You need contracts. You need legal documents. In respect of bill of sale, maybe you want to buy property. There's a transfer of property, and or there are goods. You are dealing in goods. There's transfer of goods. So there are things that have to be put down on paper in respect of that particular transaction. So there's also issue of warranty that also needs to be captured. Employment contract, I've talked about it before. That's also part of the contract, part of the legal documentations that a lawyer would do for a business. Then employee non-compete agreement. This is actually an essential part of an employment contract. You can put a non-compete agreement in your employment contract, which shows that your employee is not allowed to compete with your company. Your employee is not allowed to do business that is the same as that of your company, so that there will be no conflict of interest. So this is just like a few areas in respect of contracts. So a good lawyer can help you develop contracts, help you draft contracts that will help you avoid potential legal problems. And when these contracts are properly crafted, you'll be able to avoid it will take care of some loopholes in the future, and you'll be able to avoid liabilities in your contract. So it helps to put your business in the proper picture and capture the best interest of the company in those contracts in respect of external third parties. So that contract, your lawyer will help you draft it in such a way that your interests are being the interest of the company are protected. So having a team of legal experts will help you to help you peruse your contracts. There are sometimes the contract might not emanate from you, might not emanate from the company, but can come from other people, maybe a business partner who wants to partner with you in a particular project. So they can bring a contract for the company. In that case, you don't just go and sign the contract. You don't just go and sign because they have drafted it and they have brought it. Even if they say, oh, it's time bound, pass it across to your lawyer. Let your lawyer review the contract and advise you on whether or not you should go on with that investment or you should go on with that business deal, no matter how you think the business might be profitable. But there might be some clauses that you may not have seen that your or even if you have seen it, you may not understand the legal implication of those clauses. So your business lawyer would help you peruse those contracts and advise you on the proper step to take in respect of that particular transaction. So helping you peruse contracts, going through that material with a really fine toned comb, and it helps you reveal every aspect of the contract and how it affects your company, and it helps you to stay legally protected in your business. Now, what about your transactions with other or other company, your transaction with other businesses? A lawyer also has a very important role to play here. The lawyer has a very important role to play in respect of the transactions of your company with other businesses. You know, sometimes there are some some businesses that are business to business. There are some companies that deal with a number of businesses, not just a client. They deal with a number of businesses by the nature of the business. So these transactions with other businesses, your lawyer needs to come in negotiating. In fact, not just when this business has materialized, a lawyer needs to be in that room where the deals are taking place, the business is being negotiated. So has to oversee the transaction, have to analyze the risk involved before even you enter into that business. You have to make sure that you do not have any problem later on. So an experienced legal expert will help you take care of all this and make sure that you are protected, and will back you up with a fair deal. Sometimes some very big companies might give you some proposals that might just look very juicy, and you might just be in a hurry to sign. When your lawyer looks at that document, that proposal with a legal eye, the lawyer will be able to discover certain things that you don't know and make sure that any deal that is not fair to your company is not accepted. So the lawyer will help you review all that contract and get a fair deal, and that will help your business to run smoothly. Also, in your dealings with the public, when dealing with the public, you are always at a risk. Most times you're at a risk when dealing with a risk, and this is also where your lawyer plays a very important role in your dealings with the public. So legal advisors will also help you when you are sued by the public. You know, there are sometimes your transactions with other people or with the public might lead to maybe a lawsuit or issues with other people. So the lawyer will look at the laws, the company laws, the rules, the regulations, and also see how your company will be advised in that particular deal, in that particular issue, whenever it arises. So when your company laws when your company is being sued in a particular issue, or there's a litigation, or there's a dispute, you need a lawyer very importantly. Very, very, very importantly, so you can handle the lawyer can handle those legal issues, the business dispute. You know, lawyers generally deal with dispute resolution. That's why sometimes a lot of people, they think it's only when you have court matters that you involve a lawyer. No, you don't just involve a lawyer. You don't just wait until that legal issue arises. Excuse me. You don't just wait until the legal issue arises. You have to get your lawyer in. Excuse me. Excuse me, I need to take water. Sorry, we are back. Sorry. Oh, you need to take some water. We are back. So you don't have to wait until the legal issue arises. You don't have to wait until there's a dispute. In as much as lawyers are known for dispute resolution, it is better for us to prevent the dispute from arising than waiting for it to arise before we start getting a lawyer. So the duty of your lawyer is not just to help you out when you are already in court. The lawyer will also help you out to prevent disputes from arising. It helps the lawyer also help you to prevent disputes from arising. So those are part of the. So in a perfect world, there are conflicts. There are some business partners can stick together. They can know themselves for various years, and sometimes when we are in business, in real business, there are issues that might arise, issues relating to money and some other things. When this problem come, your lawyer would help you to resolve the dispute. But it's always good that you wouldn't wait for that problem to arise. You rather have a lawyer that personally knows you and knows your business, so that the lawyer will advise you on how to stay away from problems before they even arise. Now we'll talk about intellectual property protection is also one of the functions, a very, very critical aspect of the legal needs of a company. A lot of people don't even know about intellectual property. They don't even know about their intellectual property rights. So if you have a lawyer on retainer, the lawyer will explain to you what your intellectual property rights are and how you go about protecting your intellectual property, and how you can even make money from the creations of your mind. So consulting a lawyer first can help you avoid issues about infringing on intellectual property of other people, or also allowing other people to infringe on your intellectual property. So the lawyer helps you to research the trademarks. Intellectual property has to do with copyright, trademarks, designs. That's copyright, trademarks, industrial designs. So copyright has to do with literary works. Maybe if you write a book, artistic work, cinematography, photographs, musical works. So those ones fall under the classification of copyright. For you can get protection for your copyright, and the lawyer can help you get that done. Then there are also other intellectual properties like a trademark. Trademark protects your brand name and your logo. Most times I give this distinction between a corporate name and your brand name. So when you register a company at the Corporate Affairs Commission, that's your corporate name. Then there's a registry for that oversees intellectual property registration, that is different from CAC, that is different from the Corporate Affairs Commission. So there is a trademark, patent, and design registry. So it is the registry that's charged with the responsibility of registering your trademark, patent, and design. We also have the Copyright Commission that is charged with the responsibility of registering your copyright in your products, in your literary and artistic works. So you need a lawyer in this area that will help you protect your brand. So once your brand is established, your lawyer will help you protect your brand, and trademark registration and research and everything involved in it can be quite cumbersome, and the lawyer will help you know the classes of trademark that suits your business, that is more suitable for your business. So having a lawyer take care of all this for you, help you dedicate your time and focus on your business, while you are rest assured that your business needs are well taken care of. So now we'll go into privacy policy, terms and conditions. These are also areas where you need a lawyer to look into. There are some transactions or even some online businesses that you want to get into, want to involve the company that might be involved in. They have some terms and conditions. They have some privacy policy that you must look into to see whether it favors you, to see whether it favors your company, and those areas are also where your lawyer will help you review and analyze all those things to see that you do not sign something that will be detrimental to your business. So I would right now I would pause and ask for, or give some time for people who want to ask questions, then before we continue. It's unfortunate, this cough is just disturbing me tonight, and I must the cough is just trying to be a hindrance, but it cannot succeed. So we are talking about why your business needs a legal advisor. I'll come back to conclude on some major points that I've not mentioned so far, but let me acknowledge those who have joined so far. Elijah Otto, thank you for joining. Happy New Year. Obong Okon, thank you for joining. Julie Uche, thank you for joining. Julie, we still have some unfinished business. I will send you a DM later. Ejim Prince Mado, thank you for joining. Lawrence Philip, thank you for joining. Uche Henry, thank you for joining. Uchenna Ogochukwu Ozekwe, thank you for joining. Jane Kelvin, thank you for joining. Billy Omen, thank you for joining. So we'll continue with the discussion. I want to round up before 9 o'clock, or latest by 9. Now, we have looked at a number of areas in answering the question why your business needs, why does your business need a legal advisor. Now, there is this issue of fees that a lot of startups and entrepreneurs are afraid of. So some people really do not understand that their business have legal needs. Some also understand these legal needs, but claim that they do not have the resources to engage a lawyer. One, let me tell you one thing that we need, that is very important, that we must appreciate, must understand. You might be considering that, oh, you do not have you do not have the money to engage a lawyer in registering a business, for instance, maybe incorporating a company, and you want to incorporate this company for a business deal that maybe is time bound and all that, and you start the process. Possibly you want to do it yourself process, and because you're not an expert in that, you make certain mistakes that you now get entrapped. You now get stuck for a month or 2 months. I've had people come to me to say, oh, please, I need help, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I couldn't conclude, or I had issues, please, how can you help me resolve that? When issues like that happen, it's always very difficult to resolve them, because you have already made a mistake. It's now like starting afresh to do what you ought to have done earlier on. So it's always good to take that decision earlier, to avoid a waste of time, to avoid a waste of resources too. Now, for startups and entrepreneurs, I always advise them to have a lawyer on retainer. When we talk about retainer, it simply means engaging a professional, a lawyer or an accountant or a business expert, a business strategist, depending on what you want at that moment. Engaging an expert, a professional, to give you professional services. It could be on a specific job, or a number of jobs, or generally. So we have general retainer and specific retainer. In general retainer, you can get a lawyer or a law firm who will take care of all your legal needs, and you can agree on a certain amount, let's say for a year. So at the beginning of this year, we had some interaction with a number of startups, and a number of them are considering having a general retainer because of the obvious advantages it has. It gives the company. In a general retainer, when you pay an agreed amount between you and the professional, you'll be entitled to the services stipulated in the retainership agreement, and you will not be required to pay for specific services unless those excluded in the agreement. In that case, it is cheaper for the company if you have an agreement with a lawyer or an accountant with a business strategist for a year, for instance, that covers all your legal needs. Even if you pay once, or you pay by installments, or depending on the agreement with the professional, it's better for you and saves you cost, and helps you to take the proper business decision. Assuming you have a retainer with a lawyer, for instance, before the lawyer can attend your business meetings, sit in the meeting and advise you on the proper thing to do, review the documents, draft documents, and follow up with the transaction from the start, from the beginning to the end. And that will help you make sure that all the loopholes are covered. Unlike when you go on a case-by-case basis, that's where it becomes more expensive. But you have this general retainer. It helps the lawyer to, or the accountant, or whoever you are engaging, the professional you are engaging in that retainer, to study your business and know the peculiarities of your business, and be able to advise and know what might arise, what legal problems that are likely to arise, and look for solutions for these legal problems even before they arise. So it helps to save you costs, it helps to save you time, because the time to take you to get across an accountant, to get across to a lawyer when that issue has arisen, might be more than when you have a lawyer. You have an existing relationship with a lawyer. You can just put a call across, or put a call across to the consultant or the accountant. Oh, look at the legal issue I'm having, and okay, how do we resolve it? The person can give you some legal tips on phone while maybe other documents are even being forwarded. So legal advisory services and legal documentations and other things that can be covered in that retainer. It helps you stay legally compliant. It helps you it helps a lawyer review all your the legal transactions in respect of your company, and be able to advise at that particular point in time. So it's the same thing. Also, you can have an accountant on retainer, or some other professional that you know that you require the services often. So it's better you have this agreement, this general retainer, with this with a law firm or a lawyer that understands your business. It helps you to grow, it helps the company to stay legally compliant, and it saves you costs. So it's an assignment as you draw your goals, as you have set up your goals for the new year. Set up goals for your legal needs too, and see the areas and see the areas that you can have a retainer with a lawyer or with an accountant or any other professional that you require that service. Is a very good way of budgeting. It's a very good way of planning your year. It's a very good way of staying legally compliant in your business, because it helps you have access to the lawyer or to the accountant or to the professional in question at any given time. Even there are sometimes I will have to take calls during odd hours. When I mean odd hours, maybe late in the night, that I ordinarily would not take calls, but because it's coming from a client that we have an already existing relationship, I would be inclined to take the call because there's that relationship. But someone else, maybe if there's someone who is just trying to reach out by that time, and I look at, why is this person calling me by this time? And if there's something very important I'm doing, I might not be inclined to take the call. So this also applies to some other professionals. So there are some special considerations. There are some special considerations you give to your clients, you give to those clients on retainer that always come to you for general legal services, that you may not be able to, you may not be inclined to give to other people who do not have a retainer with you or with your firm. So it's advisable for startups to consider having a general retainer for all their legal needs. In such a case, it helps them in budgeting. It helps you to get timely legal services whenever the need arises, and it helps you to prevent even legal problems from arising in the future. Because if you have a law firm on retainer, you have an accountant on retainer, or some other experts on retainer, the professionals will help you to structure your business in such a way that you avoid some potential problems. And those, when you avoid such potential problems, you'll avoid liabilities in your business. So we'll now be rounding up. We just have this 8:45, and I'll still look into the comments and see if there are questions. And if there are no questions, I would summarize and wrap up the discussion then for this particular episode. So Mr. Omoborio Bode just joined. Mr. Bode, thank you for joining. Okay, I'll just do a recap of some of the points I've raised why your business needs a legal advisor. Your business needs a legal advisor in order to have a proper business setup. Your legal advisor will help you develop a legal structure for your business that is most suitable for your business. Now, I also talked about employment related issues. Your legal advisor will help you draft the employment contract and make sure that all the relevant documents or all the relevant clauses are included in the employment contract. Clauses like confidentiality clause, non-compete agreement, and some other clauses. And it will stipulate what is expected of the employee and what is expected of the employer and the employment terms and conditions. It helps everybody to have a clear perspective, to be clear on what is expected from each party in the contract. So a legal advisor helps you make wiser business decisions, because having a legal expert will help you make informed business decisions that are in line with the laws of the area where your business operates. So this is very important, because making legally sound decisions help your business to grow, and you need a lawyer to help you make informed legal decisions. We also said that legal documentations, contracts are indispensable in every business. So you need the services of a legal consultant to draft your contracts. A lot of people make mistakes of just going online to download templates and just write their names and sign. That can be very dangerous, because you do not understand the legal implications of those terms stated in those contracts. So even when you have some drafts and you have a lawyer on retainer, you can forward those drafts to the lawyer to review, maybe for a token, to help you make sure that you are taking the right steps. Otherwise, you might just be signing the debts of the company. So you cannot do without contracts, because it's a major part of the business, because you have to you need them in handling your sales, you need them in dealing with employees, and in some other commercial transactions. They are very important. You also need the services of a lawyer in transactions with other businesses. Like I said, when you have a lawyer on retainer, the lawyer can attend meetings where these transactions are being deliberated upon, and help you oversee those transactions and analyze the risk involved before you even enter into that business. So it's very helpful for you to engage the services of a lawyer who understands your business, who understands your line of business, and who will be able to advise you in taking the right decision, making the right decision. So in also dealing with the public, you need the services of a lawyer. You need a lawyer in legal in conflict resolution, dispute resolutions, and when you are sued by the public or some other companies, you need a lawyer to really review all the laws governing that particular transaction and see how to guide you and represent you in the litigation, or also consider other forms of dispute resolutions that will be suitable for your company. So it's very important. So we'll be wrapping up here. I'll go through again to see if there are questions for me before I round up. So thank you all for joining the broadcast and for being part of the 19th episode of the Legal Business Talk Show. Today we talked about why your business needs a legal advisor, and we have exposed certain areas and why you need to consider having a lawyer on retainer or a law firm on retainer, a lawyer who understands your business and will help you make informed legal decisions and help your business stay legally protected, and that will help you to avoid liabilities in your business and help your business to grow. Your business cannot grow when you have liabilities. Your business cannot grow when you are constantly being sued in court for taking the for breach of contract or for taking the wrong step in a particular transaction. So they say prevention is better than cure. It's better to prevent a dispute from arising than trying to settle the dispute when that dispute has arisen. So consider having a general retainer with a lawyer or a law firm in respect of your business, and seek legal counsel, seek legal advisory services from a lawyer who will help you make sure that your business is legally protected. So this is where we'll be drawing the curtain. I want to still keep to the time of staying within an hour, between 8 to 9. It's about 8:54 now. So we'll be rounding up. I acknowledge once again those who join in the broadcast: Elijah Tor, Obong Okon, Julie Uche, Ejim Prince Mado, Lawrence Philip, Uche Henry, Uchenna Ugochukwu Ozekwe, Jane Kelvin, Billy Orman, I hope I pronounced it well. Omoborio Bode, Mr. Moborio, thank you for always being part of the Legal Business Talk Show. I really appreciate you. Your presence is an encouragement to me. And Mr. Moborio is my very senior colleague, and each time he sees me online in the Legal Business Talk Show, he tries to join the broadcast. So that's a very big encouragement to me. Thank you very, very much for being part of the broadcast, and a special thanks for everyone who were part of the broadcast. You can share the broadcast to your friends, or tag your friends, startups, entrepreneurs, those who need this information, who have businesses or who want to start businesses. So if you have any questions you have not asked here, or you want to ask me personally, you can send me a direct message on Messenger, and we can I can give you some legal tips or put you through in respect of your business. Thank you once again for being part of the Legal Business Talk Show. I remain your legal business consultant, Ifoma Ben. Next episode will be coming up on the last Sunday of January, and we'll be bringing to you another episode with interesting topic and interesting discussions that will help you in your business, and that will help your business stay legally protected in this year 2020. Thank you. I remain Ifoma Ben. I love you all, and my dream is to help you build legally protected business and avoid liability in your business. Thank you very much. Bye for now.